Hey guys, so here we're going to be doing a review of the new Pusha T album, It's Almost Dry. This is the fourth solo studio album by legendary rapper, Good Music president, and former one half of the former hip-hop duo Clips, who does reappear on this album, Pusha T. And it's no surprise that a lot of people, myself included, were really excited for this album for a bunch of reasons, because of how prolific Pusha T has been over the past couple of decades, with his unique style, his lyrical topics, and the way he has shifted the whole hip-hop topic of coke rap, thanks to his work with his brother Gene, aka Malice from Clips, as well as producer Pharrell Williams, who is a major producer on this new album, alongside Kanye West. So that's another reason I was looking forward to this album. Pharrell Williams and Kanye West production on a Pusha T album. How can this go wrong? And for the most part, I am happy to say that it does not go wrong. So considering that this is a Pusha T album, what would you be getting? Basically the same that you're getting on a lot of Pusha T albums. You're getting grimy, swag, braggadocious bars. You're getting some very hard-hitting, unique, old school mixed with new school style production, and of course, coke bars. Coke bars for days. But it seems like after every solo release, Pusha T slowly gets better with the double, triple entendres, which he's always been great at, but it seems like they become more and more stand out after each release, with bars after bars about cocaine, drug dealing, stuff that only Pusha T would know from where he was once in. And this album really is a great example of that on so many tracks. So starting off, we open with the track Brambleton, which has hard-hitting, synth-layered production from Pharrell Williams, and the lyrics here are quite personal, and it's good to have a personal track opening up the album, as he's paying tribute to a few different people, such as Biggie and Tupac too, some of his close friends as well, but also shouting out his former manager, Jeezy, who in a Vlad TV interview made out that 95% of Clips' material were about him, which made Pusha T feel betrayed, upset, and something that clearly fazed him a bit, even if he's not showing it with a lot of the bars he is producing on here, as well as his tone that always stands out. We had the song Smokers Shine the Coupes, which is both an amazing example of Pusha T's talent as well as Pharrell's production. How great Pharrell's production and Pusha T's rapping coincide together, just how great their chemistry is. The production here hits hard, the samples, the bass lines, the percussion, just it's grimy as hell and fits Pusha T perfectly, as he's once again rapping about stuff that he's done in the streets, and also with the meaning of the song, talking about how money being the devil's advocate, and he's seeing drugs as his way of getting money, so that's how he sees his luxury, even if it does involve some of the devil's work. And just by the opening verse on this track, you already know you're going to be in for some clever bars and some great rhyming and some prolific references. We have the next song, Dreamin' of the Past, which has Kanye on the mix with the production, introduces him, which also has him on a feature, which I don't really care about, as he literally brings up stuff that's not even related to what Pusha T's talking about his divorce with Kim, which seems quite disingenuous. Like, Kanye, maybe you should have just stayed behind the desk and not gone behind the mic, okay? But everything else about the song I think is great. The sample from the John Lennon cover is amazing and fits the theme of this track perfectly, given Pusha T's past lifestyle. And that's what the track's basically about. Pusha T talking about his past and stuff that he was in the past, and not really dreaming about wanting to be back there, but of course still doing some of the stuff he was doing back then, but to a lower extent, but dreaming about it in a sense that he's still remembering it very well and using that to his advantage here, both artistically as well as in a threatening demeanor. And that's even more present on the next track, Neck and Wrist, where he goes full swag here. He has a more laid-back delivery, which I love. The instrumental hits hard with those daunting and plucky synth notes with the percussion, the sampling. Pharrell's hook is great. Jay-Z's verse is absolutely terrific, and he dives in on the same style Pusha T does, while also referencing Biggie and referencing how people think that Jay-Z wouldn't have been as big had a Biggie survived. But Jay-Z addresses this very well by also bringing up the commission, which if you don't know about, you need to look it up. We have the track Just So You Remember, which is honestly probably a top 3 song on the album for me. The production is a bit more low-key here with the percussion, but we also have the amazing Colonel Bagshot samples placed in the chorus here and how they perfectly split the verses. And once again, Pusha T's bars on here, I mean, they're always great for the most part, but here there are some terrific and horrific standout bars here, like the one where he's referencing the Coke game to the Bible and that he would be Genesis, to the line about the menaces, plenty of double and triple entendres here, and this fucking line. Wow. We have the song Diet Coke, which was obviously a single, and it's proven to be one of the biggest singles Pusha T has released in his solo career, and I can definitely see why. And I liked the song when it first came out. It's grown on me even more. I love the 88 keys and Kanye West production with the piano and the Chipmunk soul sampling, very college dropout style. Some of Pusha T's bars here, while not his best, they still really hit hard, and the "You want a Diet Coke, that's a joke" line, still just simple lines like that just still stick to my head, just like the instrumental does. We have the song Rock and Roll, which there are some parts of this song that I love. I love the production here, once again with the Chipmunk soul sampling. I love Pusha T's verses once again, but I'm just kind of perplexed about that Kid Cudi verse. The distortion that's used for the chorus just doesn't fit the production of this song, doesn't fit Pusha T's style, and sounds a little bit off-putting. Although I will say that the Kanye West feature on the back end is fine, a lot better than his feature on the other track. I think it works here, but is it the best Kanye West and Kid Cudi collab I've ever seen, especially considering this is supposedly the last time they'll ever work together based off the beef? No, not necessarily. We have the song Call the Bluff, which the production here is so haunting and so mesmerizing, very much Pharrell and Pusha's chemistry kicking in here, and Pusha T comes with a more laid-back, but also tone-deaf and serious vibe, and I love it. Combined with some of the bars here and what he's talking about here in a threatening, demeaning manner is great, and I love every second of this track. Then we have the song Scrape It Off with Don Tolova and Lil Uzi Vert, which was the track I was most concerned about, not because of how I feel about Don Tolova and Lil Uzi Vert as artists, just because I wouldn't know how their artistry would combine on a Pusha T track. And hearing this track, I can definitely see why. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the Don Tolova chorus is fine. It's just that, given how really Don Tolova's best strength at this point has been providing hooks in hip-hop songs, this is not really one of his best hooks I've ever heard, and I don't think it really suits this song as well. Then we have Lil Uzi's feature, which comes off kind of borderline cringe. While I do appreciate Uzi here for exploring on his style, and had this verse been on one of his own songs, I think it would have been solid. But just with a few corny bars here and bars that just do not correlate with what Pusha T's talking about and his style, it just feels very off-putting. And the production here is not really enough to make up for it. We have the song Hear Me Clearly, though, which is a production standard, in my opinion at least. I love the harder-hitting crescendos and the samples here and how they come together. And Pusha T's bars are, well, why do I keep mentioning Pusha T's bars? Because Pusha T is one of the few artists who can make bars about the same topic but still sound so incredibly fresh. And this track proves it. Man, especially with that TikTok bar. Then we come to the final two tracks, which both very solid tracks, and I find it interesting how both these tracks have organs within the production, kind of hinting at gospel in a way, one more so than the other. And one of these tracks being the song Open Air, being produced by Pharrell, having some of the organs laced in production, which fits well, and the lyrics just being about Pusha T pushing coke. Yeah, not pushing P, pushing C, pushing coke. And yes, he does reference the C word a lot here, but also references it in a literal context by saying the C word. And this track's no exception. He's moving coke in different forms, different shapes, different sizes, everything. And then we have the song I Pray For You, which makes for amazing closing. We have a great opening chorus by Labyrinth, Pusha T, solid verse once again, but then we get Malice. The second half of the Clips duo are in it together on this track, and it really seems like that despite all these years of Malice being because obviously Malice makes his own solo music, but more Christian-oriented music. But even getting back on this style of music, he still hasn't lost his pen game. This man still rapping his ass off, still writing very well, still has a solid pen game, and just makes me miss the clips being together on this track. But also knowing that a Clips album is probably never going to happen, but it is sad, which is sad to think considering how great Malice's pen game continues to be here and how great him and Pusha's chemistry also continues to be, especially on this beautiful gospel-inspired production, which is no wonder considering it is produced by Kanye and the gospel direction he's gone for. I guess that maybe gave Malice more of a reason to be on this album, but overall, it just makes for an amazing closing. So overall, yeah, this album is just as great as I could have hoped for it to be. It's another solid Pusha T album to add to his catalog. Most of the tracks I loved. Some of his best songs are on there. A lot of tracks that I'm definitely going to be coming back to over and over again, just like I did in tracks on Daytona. And I would say this album's on par with Daytona. I would say there are more highs on this album than there were on Daytona, and those highs are just as high, if not slightly higher than some of the highs on Daytona, because this album's longer. But as well as that, because this album's a bit longer, there are also a little bit more lows than Daytona, but more highs. But just more of the lows come from some of the features, more specifically Lil Uzi Vert and even Kanye's feature on Dreaming of the Past, which he should have just still stayed behind the desk for. And the way this album flows, it's not the most conceptual album, but it doesn't need to be with Pusha T. Pusha T is one who doesn't really know how to make a proper conceptual, story-driven album, but when it comes to talking about what he always talks about, no one is doing it as great as Pusha T, and that's what still makes him so special, so unique, and will make me continue to be excited for whatever he does next, no matter how far away that is. But overall, I'm feeling a flat 8 out of 10 on this new album. Well, thank you guys for watching this review. If you guys enjoyed, let me know with a like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought of this album, what's your favorite track, your least favorite track, and stay tuned for my next review. But until then, guys, I will catch you then. Have a good day. Bye-bye.